his mindset had grown. That alone was going to make a difference. And it has. And so this is real numbers for him. His first year with me, 14 transactions. Second year with me, we went to that mastermind early on, 60 transactions in his second year in the industry, right? The mindset shift of what he was capable of was worth it, right? It's just totally worth it.
So the question is this: how do most agents find the secrets to succeed in today's competitive real estate market, especially when the top agents are keeping those secrets to themselves? That's the question, and this podcast will give you the answer. Hi, I'm Aaron Amuchastegui, and welcome to Real Estate Rockstars. Hey, Real Estate Rockstars. This is Aaron Amuchastegui, and I'm interrupting myself to bring you this commercial break from one of our sponsors. And I know you guys would much rather listen to the content and not the ads and not the sponsors, but this is one that I'm actually super excited with. You know, so many of the realtors that we interview on the show, they talk about how much systems are important and how much follow-up is important. And I'm really excited about our new sponsor. There's somebody I've been looking at for a long time, and when they reached out to me, I said, yes, we have to be able to do this deal. So that sponsor is Follow Up Boss. You know, on an interview last week with agent Mark McGuire, I asked him what his favorite software and what his favorite system was, and he said it was Follow Up Boss. And then he went on for another 3 or 4 minutes to talk about why Follow Up Boss was the best CRM he uses. So there's a lot of superstars out there that use Follow Up Boss. Some of the stats they gave me: Robert Slack, 1.5 billion team in Florida, #1 in the US. He uses Follow Up Boss to get a 400% ROI on its massive paid lead spend. Deborah Beagle, co-owner of the Ashton Group in Nashville, uses Follow Up Boss to guarantee that agents who join her team get 2 homes under contract in the first 90 days. That's a big guarantee for new agents. Barry Jenkins of Your Friends in Real Estate uses Follow Up Boss to automate everything so his team can produce $200 million on 25-hour work weeks. All right, so here's an offer. You guys are going to get this special for being Real Estate Rockstars listeners. Now, I've used Follow Up Boss. We've actually used it in our non-real estate businesses as well because it's so good at being able to set timers, set automatic texting and emailing, and what do you know? Best name ever, Follow Up. So here's what we got. For Real Estate Rockstars listeners, you get a 30-day free trial. That's normally 14 days. So in order to get this, you go followupboss.com/rockstars. So again, followupboss.com, just like it sounds, /rockstars. Go there, get your 30-day free trial and check it out. Especially if you aren't using any systems or any CRMs yet, this will be a great one for you to start with. All right, everybody, thanks again. Now back to our show.
Hey, Real Estate Rockstars. This is Stephanie Heiser filling in for Mr. Aaron Amuchastegui. Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing Garrett Maroon from Virginia. He's one of our speakers at our Mastermind in May. So we're just going to dig into the importance of masterminding and see what it's all about.
What's up, Rockstars? I think it was fun to hear you say that. So like, I want to say that too, but no, I'm really excited for May. I know we'll get into it, but I actually literally just got back from a mastermind 20 minutes ago. I started one with a couple agents, and then I'm wearing a hat, which is there's 30 of us. A partner and I started a mastermind for top agents in Virginia and North Carolina that we do 3 to 4 times a year. So I'm all about masterminding. I think it's so important and so valuable, and it's made a big difference for my life and my business. So yeah, I'm excited to be here and talk about it.
Sweet. Thank you so much. So your episode on Real Estate Rockstars was in the top 10 most downloaded of 2021. And that's definitely why we had to have you on, but also because everything you talk about is just pure gold. So what do you plan to talk about at the Mastermind? Do you know yet?
Yeah, so absolutely. So it's going to be about the psychology and system of relational sales. Yeah, so we're going to dive into a lot of the psychology of how do we get people to choose us, why they choose us, why relationships work. And we're going to dive into that. It's not going to be a long time. I want to respect everybody's time. And I think most of the value in a mastermind setting, which is what we do in our own mastermind here in Virginia and North Carolina, is give an idea, right? A couple big ideas, and then say, all right, group, go talk about it. Most of the good ideas come from the people that you're with. And I think that's the value of a mastermind. But yeah, we're going to dive into mostly psychology, and then I'll run you through my system to generate repeat and referral business.
That's awesome. So what I'm really looking forward to is, well, as a person in the audience, like I cannot sit and just listen to people talk for hours and hours and just sit there and take notes. Like I can't do it. So since I'm planning the mastermind, and obviously like that's just not what masterminding is anyway, but everyone's going to be on stage for 20 to 30 minutes, but we're all going to be in the audience just networking and masterminding and talking with everybody else. So, and just because we happen to be on stage saying like, hey, I think mental health is super important, and that's my sphere that I like to dive into. And these people are diving into like flipping houses on a large scale. And then you're talking about the psychology of why people pick us. I think it'll be amazing for people to just see and hear different ideas and know kind of who to approach on our free time. But I think the best part is just going to come from talking at the tables in small groups and the one-on-one coaching that will happen. What are you looking forward to learning about at the mastermind?
Yeah. So, I mean, just mental health is awesome. Flipping houses is awesome. Anything, like what I love about masterminding, honestly, is that, we all show up and we've had different experiences in our entire lives, obviously, but we're coming from different places that year. Or, for our mastermind, for example, we do 3 or 4 times a year. We've got top agents, right? There's 30 of us, and I think we did like $750 million total in volume last year. And our average price point's like 300,000. So that's a lot of homes, right? So the fact that people can show up with different experiences, there's different ways that they've generated business. I'm not going to leave there and my entire business is changed completely, right? But it makes me better every time, because this person who maybe does only cold calling says something about their business or has an insight or input or something related to mine. I'm like, oh man, that's so good. I can take that back and apply it to the way I do business, right? Or I'm being open to new ideas and new things that I'd never heard before, and think, man, I end up with too many things. And so I try to prioritize, like, okay, what do I need to go home and like think about and prioritize and focus on, then come back again. But the reality is I love masterminding because we can learn things from anybody. I don't care if you're brand new. I don't care if you've been in the business forever. Like the people that have been in the business forever, we don't tend to have a bunch of new ideas, right? It's the new people that come in with fresh eyes and we can learn from them. And the people that are brand new don't have the experience, the longevity to really understand things sometimes at a really deep level. And so the fact that we can come together, sit around a table, have conversations with each other, take an idea from the stage and just discuss it with the group. There's so much power in learning that happens in that process. I'm with you. I mean, we're real estate agents, right, Stephanie? We don't sit still very well. We don't have long attention span. So the reality for us to take that idea, talk about it in our groups, learn more about it, discuss it, it's just something really powerful to it. It's funny. I flew out to, where was I? I forget where I was. Oh, in Phoenix, Arizona. Oh. Yeah. Nope. So I was in Philly last week teaching, but I flew out to Phoenix, Arizona. I brought someone on my team with me for a mastermind. A friend of mine who's really high level said, hey, come to this mastermind. Great, I'll be there. And my agent who was with me had never been to one. He said, well, what is a mastermind? Like, why do I need to come? What are we going to do? And I literally just said, just trust me. It's awesome. You're going to be around people that think at a different level. And that is enough. And that will be worth it. And he was like, okay, he kind of begrudgingly came. And I mean, I'm his team leader, so he kind of had to come, right? Well, no joke. We were there for 2 days. We fly back home. I'm dropping him off from the airport. It was pretty late. And he literally said, you know what, Garrett, you were right. This is verbatim what he said. That was probably the 2 most impactful days of my life, right? That's what he said. And then he said, can I join the mastermind that you started? Because he had a lack of understanding of what it was going in. He wasn't sure what he was about to do, which is totally fine. I didn't want him to necessarily know, right? Because I couldn't really explain it. He shows up and he realizes, man, just being around people that think at that level has pushed him to another level. level. That alone is valuable. Even if he got no actual tactical skills to take home, his mindset had grown. That alone was going to make a difference. And it has. And so this is real numbers for him. His first year with me, 14 transactions. Second year with me, we went to that mastermind early on, 60 transactions in his second year in the industry, right? The mindset shift of what he was capable of was worth it, right? It's just totally worth it. So I believe in masterminding. I believe in getting around with high level people. I believe in listening to them. I believe in letting them stretch the way you think. And I absolutely have never been to a mastermind, and I've been to a lot and not walked away with just a little bit more clarity on my business, a little bit more clarity on my life, and certainly a higher level of thinking. And you can't quantify how valuable that is. It is incredibly valuable.
Well, that's it. I mean, what more can we say? You just covered it all. It's so true. I think that, and what I really love about all the people who are coming is that they didn't make excuses on why they can't be there. Like, the people that are going to be in that room, they're ready to make shit happen. They're ready to go to the next level, ready to help other people get to the next level. And it's just, I mean, it really is true. Like, what is it? You're the sum of the 5 people you surround yourself with, something like that. And the people that you are around, I mean, I've changed my life so much in the last 2 years. And even in the last 6 months in planning this mastermind, I just volunteered to help organize it. And then it turned into consuming all day, every day. And I'm obsessed with it. And I love it so much. And the people I've met, even just the people who are helping us plan the event at the venue, are freaking amazing. And all the thoughts and the way it has changed, the trajectory of my life, just freaking planning the mastermind. So I can't imagine what's going to happen when we're actually there. I'm terrified to be on stage, and I've never been on stage before, but you've done it lots of times. Jonathan Spears has done it tons of times. Matt and Jeremy out of Phoenix, this will be their first time being on stage together, which surprised me because I feel like they're a unit of one. Right. So I think, everyone there has a whole lot of experience, and I'm the rookie. So I'm just so excited to fake it till I make it, and hopefully not pass out. But I just believe so much in spreading the message about let's talk about mental health. Let's not whine and make excuses about it. Handle your shit and get better and try to do what you can to help yourself. But I just always want people to know, being yourself is the number one thing. And like you said, you could go to a mastermind and get full of information, and that could be super daunting. So what I want people to think about is to go in open-minded, but really focus on what resonates with them the most. You don't have to be like me. You don't have to be like Garrett. You don't have to be like Diego, but pick and choose what resonates with you and run with that. And you just can't fail.
Yeah, I mean, and all of what you said is so true. And I love that this mastermind is the first one I'll ever attend, where the teaching, the training, the concepts we're going to hear are all very different, wildly different, right? I love that, because I think one of the challenges in the real estate industry is that one of the beauties of real estate is that you get to choose how to do business. One of the hardest parts is that you actually have to choose, right? And so I think that being able to sample a wide variety from a buffet of information, right, is really helpful for us to say, you know what, like you just said, Stephanie, that really hit home with me. Maybe I should learn more how to do that, or maybe I should focus more on this, or whatever it is. I think there's huge value in being able to do that and hear from people. I don't care if you're the greatest speaker or not. These are people who know what they're talking about, and just learning and hearing from them. And you said we're the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. I also love, I forget who said that, and I forget who said this, but that we grow into the conversations around us, right? I've known in my life, I can point to the times that I've really started to see growth and look at and point to the rooms that I've been able to get in, right? And literally, where we just taught to this huge group in Philadelphia was from a result of a room that I was able to get in and meet people at a high level and say, hey, well, you should come teach for us, right? It is about the rooms that you're in, and you grow into the conversations around you. And if that's true, and it is, then you need to be around people who are having higher level conversations. There's no better place to do that than at a mastermind where they are intently there to learn and share. And I think that is hugely valuable. Again, I'm such a huge advocate for these kinds of events because I love seminars. I love someone talking at me, like that's great. But sometimes if you're there by yourself, like you don't really get to process or anything like that, right? I love when we're there intentionally to say, okay, you heard what he said, you heard what she said. Now, what do you guys think? Let's process this together. Let's really pull the real meat out of that, right? Or if you're a vegan, the vegetables or whatever. Let's be fair to everybody, right? But let's pull the good stuff out. How do we process that as a group? It's going to raise the level and we're going to grow into those conversations. I'm just a huge advocate. And I would challenge anybody who's on the fence, maybe that is, well, maybe I want to come, maybe I don't want to come. I don't know who any of these people are. That's totally okay, right? Because there are people, I guarantee you, who think about something in a different way, even if it's one person that's there, who think about something in a different way that will challenge the way you think. Business is all about what you think about. It's all about what's in your head. That's the only way that you're going to ever grow, right? And the only thing that's holding you back is you and what your current thoughts are. So if you want to go to another level, you got to be around people who are going to challenge the way you think. And I'm just such a huge proponent of masterminds. I've seen so much value in my life and in other people's lives for sure.
Real Estate Rockstars, this is Aaron Amuchastegui with a quick commercial break with one of our newest sponsors. I'm super excited to be partnering with these guys. Does 15 to 20% ROI investing in turnkey rentals sound attractive? Did you know you can use the BRRRR strategy with new construction that has immediate equity already? You guys have heard me talk about stuff like this. Rent to Retirement offers fully turnkey properties that are newly built or renovated, leased and managed, allowing you to invest with confidence out of state. They have single family, multifamily, new build, and syndication opportunities across multiple markets that maximize cash flow, appreciation, and equity. Rent to Retirement assists investors in learning how to build a comprehensive business plan with the best investment and tax strategies to achieve financial freedom through real estate investing. There's no excuse not to get started in real estate investing when you have the right team and systems in place. To learn more, visit renttoretirement.com. That's renttoretirement.com or call 1-800-311-6781. That's 800-311-6781 to learn about how you can get started investing in some of the best cash flow markets today. And if you guys want to learn more about Zach, episode 1025, we dig in for a good 45-minute interview where he tells you the secrets to investing in real estate out of state. And him and I shared a lot of ideas about what works and what doesn't. You'll get to hear a lot about his company and his business. If you're an agent from out of state and you've got referrals looking for stuff, they work with other agents on a referral basis. And we've talked so much since COVID hit that everybody needs to have a backup plan, right? Every one of you agents needs to have a backup plan. You should all be investing in real estate. And if you're having trouble finding the time and the team to do it, maybe something like Rent to Retirement is the solution for you. So thank you for listening. Go check them out. Now back to the rest of our podcast.
Yeah, I was just listening to a podcast episode the other day. I honestly only listen to Real Estate Rockstars and listen obsessively, but Aaron was interviewed on the Action Academy, and I just started listening to that podcast because I really, really resonated with just the transparency of the host. And he was interviewing a dude who just hit the 7-figure mark, and they were celebrating that and talking about how they met at a mastermind, the GoBundance mastermind, and you have to be a millionaire to be part of GoBundance. But this dude who just became a millionaire, he was there because he had the opportunity to take the trash out and clean and set up the room and to just be in that space with the other people. And then the host of that podcast, the Action Academy, and this dude, they're friends, accountability partners. And what they have accomplished just in the last, I think they said it was 2 or 3 years, is phenomenal. Things people never accomplish in their lifetime. So that made me feel like really good about our mastermind and made me also think about how I could get into a GoBundance event and take their trash out and be in that room too.
Like, that's a good idea. Yeah.
That's
genius.
I could, serve their food or something. I don't know. I can take the trash out. I got that skill down. I love that story. If I can interrupt you real quick, Stephanie, I love that story just to highlight it because obviously I had not heard it till just now, but I love it because that person, I forget who said it was, but that guy went out of his way to make something happen because he knew he needed to be in that room. So again, if you're on the fence and, so I'm out there, I'm going to be speaking at a couple places in Texas as I'm on my way to Austin, then I'm hitting Houston, then I'm flying back. I'm getting back like midnight, the night before my daughter's 5th birthday, right? I will not miss that. I absolutely wanted to be home for that, right? That's tough. That's even hard for me and my wife to figure out all the details, but we both agreed this was important for me to be at. Right. It was important for me to meet these people, to be in that room, to be able to share, to be able to learn, to be able to listen. So we made it work. Right. If I got to go take the trash out, like you said, I want to get in that room. And so if you're on the fence, this is a chance for you to get in the room. Right. I will never, ever, ever tell someone that they're doing something wrong if they're investing in themselves. Right. The best investment you can make is in yourself. Warren Buffett said, invest in yourself as much as you can. You are your greatest asset by far. Right. So get in the rooms, do what you got to do. If it's trash, doesn't need to be trash. In this scenario, you could just get a ticket, right? But come get a ticket.
Be around those people.
Take out the trash.
right, exactly. And maybe you can, that'd be helpful, but come and experience and be around those people. And there is so much value to that. You just can't understand, in my opinion, and I'm a highly relational person, but relationships is everything. If you want to succeed in business, you got to know the right people, right? If you want to sell a lot of homes, you got to know the right people, right? At the end of the day, it is about relationships. And why would you then not take an opportunity to go be in relationship with people that you've never met that are at a high level? It just makes sense if you're trying to level up your game. So sorry to cut you off, but I love that story and that example of he just did what he had to do. So let's be those people too.
Yeah, for sure. I think what, like you said, just go there and see what happens. And the coolest part for me is that Aaron and I were super intentional about who's going to be there. We did not pick people who were unapproachable. We picked the speakers who will be there to provide value and not have an ego and just be another dude, another chick at the table. I, of course, would be super stoked to sit with a brand new agent. You can't tell me that person doesn't have something to give.
Absolutely.
And I just love that everyone there and that this awesome, beautiful event that I had this massive blessing and opportunity to help create. It's, I didn't want high-level agents that are call my 5 assistants to get through to me and get an appointment. We wanted approachable, amazing people because that's what Real Estate Rockstars is all about. And Pat started it just because, how do you get the answers when these top agents make it all top secret? So as the first Real Estate Rockstars Mastermind, it was only fitting that we're all there just to pour into everybody. You want to know exactly what I do? I'll tell you. You want to know exactly what I don't do that I absolutely should do that's driving me nuts? And, I'll be on stage saying, do as I say, not as I do, because selling 50 houses a year will make you go absolutely insane if you don't have systems in place. And guess who doesn't have systems in place?
Right.
So it'll just be, but see there, Oliver Bohr, he is actually not an agent, but he'll be on stage talking about marketing. And I've seen all of his work and I've seen it firsthand as a client. I've seen it, I was on his podcast and I just loved his energy and his message. And he makes it just seem so simple to get to the top of Google. And I did what he said. And my phone was ringing every single day from Google leads, legit normal people that were way better leads than what I got from like when I paid for Zillow. So just having like the clarity to know like what CRM is the easiest for people like me that hate technology, or like what's the easiest, most simple way? Like, here, let me throw all my business out on the table. Someone analyzes it for me and tell me how to level up. And just a conversation with a lender. I work with lenders all day, every day. But a lender that I met through Real Estate Rockstars, who lives nearby me, huge fan of the show. He's going to the Mastermind. But he just educated me when I was like, oh, I want to buy like this house and this house. I can't wait to learn how to like leverage other people's money. And he just sat down with me, like looked at the numbers, gave me a game plan. And all of a sudden I was in escrow on 2 homes. So awesome. It really is like who you know and who you connect with. And if you're willing to be vulnerable and in that position to grow.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah, I think like we had the opportunity to interview Mark King, who's the president of Keller Williams, at our most recent mastermind that we had. And he told the story of he was trying to figure out how to, buy all these investment properties and stuff like that. And he just couldn't figure it out. We said he finally met the right person, right? He hired that person. They came on his team. And in 1 year, they made him a net profit of $1 million, right? And his whole point was, we don't realize that we could just be one relationship away from $1 million. And that's not hyperbole. He was like, that actually happened for him, right? You could be one person away and you might just need to go meet that person. And like you said, Stephanie, you're 100% right. This is the chance to meet some of those good people. I'm not saying you're going to make $1 million, but I'm also not saying you're not going to make $1 million, right? Because it's the relationships at the end of the day that push us to a new level and help us go to a new level by going there with us, that ultimately lead to bigger success. And this is a chance to do that. Like, take the chance. I would bet on yourself all day, every day. That's more important than betting on whatever else you want to bet on. Bet on yourself and see what happens.
Yeah, see what happens. And the cool thing about this venue is we have full reign of the entire property. So they have the area where we'll have the stage and all of our tables set up. We'll have the outdoor space with the like fun yard games and the lighting, and I'm really excited for the outdoor space.
That's cool.
And then
That's
there's
awesome.
a podcast room. So for the people that have podcasts and the people that want to be interviewed on podcasts, like we have that whole space. If it's like lunchtime or a long break or at dinner, like we're having lunch, dinner, snacks, cocktails all day long. So no one will ever be hungry or thirsty. No one's going. I think that's the most important part. Like,
oh, absolutely.
You cannot
eat.
You can't process that information if you are starving or tired. So we're going to have like coffee, and we'll have tea and water and healthy stuff too. Even working on getting some kosher options as well.
Nice.
And I just am so excited to see what transpires. Like, I hope somebody uses the podcast room, and I hope like somebody leverages the live stream. The whole event will be live streamed. So like your grandma can log in and see you on stage, or, our team members can log in. No one's going to want to like live stream and sit and watch the whole like 8 hours. But when you have the schedule and you're like, all right, Garrett's going to be here like at 1 p.m., then all your super fans can just log in and watch you on stage for that right. short amount of time, and then see how it transitions. And then I just have a feeling that next year, the second annual Real Estate Rockstars Mastermind is going to be even better and even bigger. And this is the start of something amazing.
Yeah, no. And first of all, thank you for doing all of this and all your hard work. Because one of the things that I appreciate that you clearly are thinking about that isn't typical to masterminds that I attend is for example, like the outdoor games, all the food that's there and provided, because you recognize what a lot of people maybe even don't pay attention to or don't care to do anything about, quite honestly, is that so much of the growth happens when it's non-intentional time of us learning. It's just like, I'm still here because it's fun and we have food here and, we can go play a game outside, whatever it is. And so we just strike up a conversation and just talk. And we're like, oh, that's really cool. Tell me more about what you do. And, oh, that's awesome. Let's stay in touch, whatever it is. Like, I love that you are intentional about that. I appreciate that you are, because I think that's so helpful. Every time that I've been somewhere where it wasn't our own mastermind, I'll ask at the end, like, who wants to go to dinner? Like, why are we not having more conversation? So the fact that you are thoughtful about that is awesome. So thank you, but also going to be really, really impactful for people. So again, I think if you're on the fence, I know I keep saying it, but this is going to be, Stephanie is being intentional about helping you have those conversations, grow into the conversations around you. She's helping you have conversations and hear conversations and being a part of them. That's the name of the game. That's where change happens. That's where growth happens. So I appreciate you for doing that.
Well, thank you so much. That means a lot. I think the vice principal and teacher in me, and I was like, it just can't go away. And in my classroom, now that you mention it, I'm like, oh, I did do that. But it's just, everything happens so much better when it's organic and not forced. And Aaron will have lots of events and things going on the Tuesday before the masterminds, Wednesday, Thursday. So, and I love that about Aaron too. He's so approachable. Like, he gets back to you on Instagram, which is just crazy. I can't imagine how many messages he gets, but he always responds. And we're going to have so many fun options. And if you don't want to be there, you don't have to be. Like, on Tuesday night, chill with your spouse or go sleep or go work in your hotel room. It's all good. But those conversations and connections are going to be priceless.
That's why you're there ultimately, right? I mean, you're there to meet people and learn from people. And you can't do that if you're not around people. So yeah, I mean, I would say, now I don't want to say that and sound like a hypocrite, because I won't be there Tuesday because I'm driving in from San Antonio. I'm speaking there that morning, but I would be there if I could, because you want to be in relationship with the people. Go where they are, go meet them, go hang out, go have fun. And I'm a people, but I'm introverted by nature. So like, I don't want to be around huge crowds all the time. I'm not going to do that on accident, but I am going to be intentional in this setting to say, I want to be here. I want to meet people. There's people here who think way differently than me in a great way, right? That can challenge me. I need to go be around those people. I will leave better than when I got there. And that's all that really matters to me at the end of the day. I'll do basically anything if it means I can improve from where I started. Right. And I think, again, that's the goal. It's like, you're just going to be better. I don't know how, or I don't know which ways, but I know that you will be. And that's a guarantee that you will be. And man, if we're not willing to invest in that, I don't know what we are willing to invest in.
Word. That's it. That's a wrap, guys. I mean, Garrett covered it all. Thank you so much for being here today and for giving us all of that insight. I cannot wait to see you on stage and meet you at the Mastermind May 18th and 19th in Austin. For those of you on the fence, go to hibandigital.com. You'll see the banner for the Mastermind, get all the deets, register, and hit me up if you have any questions about it. Thanks so much, Garrett.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks for putting it together. I hope that we see all of you there. I'd love to meet as many of you as I can. And if anybody knows great donut places in Austin, please tell me that, because I am a donut man. So I would love to know that too. Would love to go to donuts with some of you. So show up and we'll do that together and we'll learn together. So I hope that I see all of you there.
All right, real estate rock stars. This is Aaron Muchastegui jumping in again to thank you for listening to the show. Hopefully you guys loved listening to that one. And I want to make sure that you know about all of the extra resources that we have. And also, we need your help. They say podcasts are free. You get to listen to podcasts for free. But what is the cost of that podcast? I would say if I could beg you to pay anything for that podcast, I would say the cost of the podcast is going and giving a review. So whether you download it on Google or Apple or YouTube or anywhere else, please go give us a review. Say what you liked, what you didn't like. It helps us get better guests. The more reviews, the higher we get in the rankings. Right now, we are the biggest podcast out there for real estate agents, and we want to keep that spot because we know there's lots of podcasts out there. So go give us a review. Also, be sure to go to hibandigital.com. If you liked any of the resources that those real estate agents talked about, we've got a huge video vault of those resources for free. Everybody that comes on the podcast that we interview, they give us something that helps them get their deals or helps them work with their clients. And we put that in the toolbox in our vault for you. So go to hibandigital.com and you can get it. If you're looking for real estate education, go to rebusuniversity.com. We have all sorts of courses in there to help agents succeed in real estate. How to get the listing, how to negotiate deals, how to become an investor, all sorts of different stuff, rebusuniversity.com. And if you want to chat with me, go find me on Instagram. And if you come find me on Instagram, you can send me messages. Tell me what you want to hear. Tell me what you liked, what you didn't like. We try to put a bunch of content out there too. You can find me in 2 different places. It's at rerockstars.com for our Real Estate Rockstars page, or at aaronamuchastegui.com for my personal Instagram page, where I can chat with you about all sorts of different things. Thanks for listening. We'll see you again soon.